Alright, welcome back. Now we're going to find the volumes of pyramids and cones. I want you to take a look. A pyramid has a special relationship to a prism, right? You can see there's similarities between them, and a cone likewise has similarities to them. What you should try sometime is make a pyramid that has the same base and the same height as the prism and see how many pyramids you can actually fit in there. If you do it, same with a cone, you should find out that the relationship is there's 3 pyramids of volume for every prism, and thus the formulas. So the formulas are pretty standard here. It's going to be the same formula as a prism, but for a pyramid it's going to be 1/3 of the area of the base times the height. So if we look at this, we're going to do 1/3. The area of this is 10 times 10, all right, times the height. Oh, we have to find this height, don't we? So let's find the height using our Pythagorean theorem. That's 12. That's our height. And if this whole thing is 10, then this must be 5. So 12 squared equals h squared plus 5 squared. Get that over here. 12 squared minus 5 squared equals h squared. H squared equals 119. All right. Take the square root. So our h is going to be the square root of 119. Now, that's obviously not going to be a perfect square. We'll round it. We'll round it, though, at the end. Again, very important. So now, if you're really smart, just put this whole thing in your calculator right away. Okay? And if you wanted to, 10 times 10 is 100. So this is 100 radical 119 divided by 3. But it doesn't matter. I would just put this thing right into my calculator, and I would get, rounded the nearest tenth, 363.6 cubic meters. All right? So the same thing with the volume of a cone. It's 1/3 the cylinder, pi r squared h. So the volume of this is going to be 1/3 pi times our radius squared times our height. So this is 1/3 pi. 3 squared is 9 times 4. 1/3 of 9 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12 pi centimeters cubed. All right? So let's look at that relationship a little bit more. A pyramid is 1/3 the volume of a prism. Okay, so a pyramid has a volume of 30 units. So 30 units. What is the volume of a prism with the same base area and height? That means everything's the same. All I have to do is divide by 1/3 or multiply by the reciprocal of 3, multiply by the reciprocal of 3, and a prism with the same base area and height would have an area of 90 units cubed. 90 units cubed, all right? Let's look down here. A cylinder has a volume of 30 units cubed. What's the volume of a cone with the same? So remember, a cylinder and a cone, what's the relationship? Well, 1/3 of a cylinder equals the cone, the volume of the cone. So 1/3 of 30 is going to give us the volume of the cone. 1/3 of 30 is 10 units cubed. Will be the volume of the cone. All right, it's kind of nice. It's a very cool relationship, 1/3 of each. All right, let's find the volume of these. So volume equals of a prism, 1/3 big B times H. What is the base here? It's a triangle. So 1/3 times base times height, 6 times 8, times our height is 10. 1/3 times 6 is, oh wait, what did we forget here? A triangle is 1/2, right? Can't forget that. The area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. All right, so 1/3 times 1/2 is 1/6. 1/6 times 6 is 1, so 1 times 8 times 10 is just 80 cubic yards. There we have it. Over here, we know that the volume is going to be 1/3 pi r squared h. So that's 1/3 pi. R, if the diameter is 10, the radius is going to be 5. Oh, and we do not have the height. So we need that height. So this is 5. So let's see. 5 squared plus h squared equals 12.1 squared. H squared equals 12.1 squared minus 5 squared. H squared equals 121.4. So the square root of both sides, so we're looking at 121.4 right here. Now again, I would not find that answer in my calculator yet, because that's going to be nasty, alright? But right now I can put all of this in my calculator. 1/3 times the pi button times 5 squared times the square root of 121, alright, should give you 288.5 kilometers cubed. Alright? Likewise, if you wanted to keep the pi, you just multiply 1/3 times 5 squared times that, and you would have gotten about 91.8 pi. Alright? All depends on what the directions are asking. A square pyramid has a volume of 32 meters cubed. So if I have a square pyramid, something like this, alright, the volume is 1/3 the area of the base times the height. So the volume is 32, 1/3. What is the formula for the area of a square? Well, if it's a square, it's the side times the side, or side squared. The height is 6. So 1/3 of 6 is 2 s squareds. Divide both sides by 2. S squared equals 16, and the square root of that is 4. So the side would be about 4 meters. Alright? How about this one? Volume of a cone is 1/3 pi r squared times h. We know the volume of the cone is 486 pi. Don't know the radius. Know the height is 18. 1/3 times 18 is 6, so I have 486 pi equals 6 pi r squared. Divide both sides by 6 pi. The pi's cancel, right? And 486 divided by 6 is 81 equals r squared. So the radius is 9. Did we answer the question? No, we want the diameter. So diameter is 2r, so the diameter would equal 18 inches. Alright? Oh, Mr. Brust. Mr. Brust used to work at Kaiserslautern High School, and he loved wearing that dunce cap. I asked him why, and he said he stored Oreo cookies in it. So, an Oreo, let's consider it just a cylinder. So here's our cylinder, here's our Oreo cookie. Now, I know there's a little ridge there, but we'll just use our imagination. It was 0.5 centimeters tall, so that's going to be 0.5, right? And then over here, what is our radius is 1. Okay, so what's the volume of this? It's pi r squared h. So pi times 1 squared times 0.5. Well, 1 squared is 1 times 0.5 is just 0.5 pi. So that's the volume of the Oreo. That's one Oreo, all right? Now we want to know, what about this dunce cap? So what's the volume of the dunce cap? Well, that's 1/3 pi r squared h. 1/3 pi, what's the radius? 10. The height is 24. So let's take a look. 10 squared is 100. 100 times 24 is 2,400. Divided by 3 is 800 pi. Alright, so that's the volume of the cap. Now we want to know how many of these go into that. So that's division. So 800 pi divided by 0.5 pi. Pi's cancel out, and we get 1,600 Oreos. Man, he likes them Oreos. So pause the video, try these on your own. Good, welcome back. Let's take a look. First one over here, volume equals 1/3. The area of the base, it's a regular hex or a pentagon, so that's 1/2 apothem times the perimeter times the height of the pyramid. So 1/3 times 1/2 is 1/6. The apothem is 5.5. The perimeter is 8 times 5 sides, that's 40. And the height is 11. Alright, multiply all that together and you should get 403.3 centimeters cubed. Nice. Alright, over here we have 1/3 pi r squared h. 1/3 pi r is, the diameter is 4, then the radius is 2. H, ooh, I don't know my h, so I need to find it. So if this is 2, this is our height. So height squared plus 2 squared equals 7.3 squared. So the height squared equals 7.3 squared minus 2 squared. The height squared equals 49.29. Take the square root, so we're using 49.29 here. The square root of 49.29. Now this is kind of nasty, so I think we should probably just multiply it all out, you know, regardless of the pi. Let's just get a decimal approximation. So 1/3 times 3.14 times 4 squared times that, and we should get 29.4 kilometers cubed. Alright, so that's volume of pyramids and cones. Best of luck on the mastery check. See you next time for the last section of Unit 10.